All right, we're back. 2023, 2024, first game of the regular season. Coach Duke, cheers to
Cheers.
that. Now, all right, here we go. So let's lock in. Let's get ready. Coffee with Coach, season 2023, 2024, episode 1.
Season 2.
Season 2. We're like, I mean, the fans were so excited about this. We kept getting messages and when are y'all going to do Coffee with Coach? And you know what? Coach Duke said something real profound last week. He said, last week, this wasn't real. Like, this week's for real. This week it's the real deal. I saw him on Monday. He said, it's go time now. So the Eagles are ready, and let's talk about them Eagles. So 7 o'clock at home in the Eagles' nest right out here tonight. It's going to be an amazing game. Okay, Coach, you know, first of all, let's just talk a little bit about last spring. Let's talk about summer. Let's talk about preseason and thoughts you have, feelings you want to share, anything you want to let the people know.
We had a great off season. You know, I think January through the start of spring ball was heavy in the weight room. You know, we want our guys to play their sports, but really to build the body in the off season. Heading into spring practices, we had 20 spring practices. We had a chance to conclude with a game versus Osceola here, which was great. You know, during that time, the leadership really forms in our team, and I thought it was a great off season in spring. You know, our 2023 team motto this year is now. We've talked about, you know, what that looks like, and the time is now. Our focus is on right now. We're not going to dwell in the past. We're not going to look too far into the future. We're worried about how are we getting better in all aspects of our life and as a player right now. And so that was kind of set in the off season in the spring. It was a great spring. Heading into summer, 2 months, June and July, with our summer workouts, conditioning, different camps that we took part in, 7-on-7 events. FCA team football camp, which is really good towards the end of July. Had a leadership trip that we had a bunch of athletes go on to Guatemala. That was special. I thought the summer was really good. I was excited heading into the fall, and now we're on our 4th week of practice. Now we have our first official game here against Bishop Moore. So it's gone by fast, but I like where we are. We still have a lot of room for growth, but the leadership is special. I have 31 seniors on this football team, so I'm really excited about that and looking forward to the season.
Awesome. Sounds good. We're looking forward to it too. I know everybody is. So, Coach, let's get some names out there. Let's talk about some things, because every time in the off season, there's certain people that just start to stand out. The workers in the room, the guys that you think are going to step up this year, the guys that impressed you in your off season. So shine that spotlight on some folks. You know,
I think our senior class has been leading by example. Guys like Kai Bates and Josh Alexander Felton and Caden Shields Dutton. You know, I have all of our specialists, all of our kickers and punters and long snappers are all seniors, which makes, you know, really exciting for our special teams unit. You know, but you know, Damon Troutman on defense. We have a lot of guys that have played some really good football for us that are now seniors, and their time is now. It's their last chance to be an Eagle this fall, and you know, there's so many I could highlight on this year's team, but I really look at the 2023 seniors. I guess they're 2024 graduates that are going to be the backbone of this program this year.
That's pretty awesome. Seniors, 32 seniors?
I think it's 31.
31 seniors.
Yep.
All right.
32 if we count our statistician who is part of the program.
I need a roster list, Coach. I need the numbers and the names, because when the boys are wearing the helmets, I can't tell who's who, and I like to cheer for them in the stands a little bit.
If you go to edgewaterfootball.com, cheap plug, but if you go to edgewaterfootball.com, you can see all of the roster, the varsity, JV, and freshman roster, their numbers and so forth. But I'll make sure we get it printed out.
I'm going to have to print one of them out. I like paper. I like things on paper. So this week's opponent, Coach, it's an old opponent, and there's some things to talk about with them, I'm sure. So what should we expect from the Bishop Moore Hornets this year?
You know, it's a program that we have the utmost respect for, right across the street. You know, it's consistently a playoff contender. They've had a lot of great athletes, and they have a really phenomenal football coach in Matt Hedrick. You know, I told our team this past week, I said, this is a state championship winning coach. He's won a state title at Bishop Moore. He's been doing it for a long time. He's probably the longest tenured coach in our county. So we have a lot of respect for their program, what they do, how they do it. They play a physical brand of football. They don't beat themselves. And again, they've won a lot of games. They've made deep playoff runs. They've won a state title, I believe, in 2015. They've had great players come through there. So It's a program that you better be prepared to play. You got to play great, fundamentally disciplined football in order to be successful. But we look forward to the challenge against these guys every year. It's a great way to start the season. A rivalry game, a trophy on the line, battle at College Park. It doesn't get any sweeter than that for week 1.
All right, well, this is going to start one of our themes for this year. Coach has a number one fan, and if you want to be one of Coach's number one fans, you can write in some questions too and let me know at kyle.lesher@ocps.net, and I'll get them questions flying. The ones that are good, the ones that I think need to be on the show, we'll put them on the show. So Coach's number one fan, he is the number one Cameron Crazy, okay, has a question for Coach Duke about the Bishop Moore Hornets, and his question is, you've played Bishop Moore for 6 years as head coach. What was Bishop Moore's first name?
The high school's first name?
I'm not sure.
Oh, Bishop.
Like I guess he was a bishop.
Right.
I don't know either.
The official name of the school is Bishop Moore Catholic High School.
But
They're the Hornets, but I cannot tell you the Bishop's first name. Now I can tell you if I was employed by Bishop Moore or I was their football coach, I could tell you that because I could tell you everything about here at Edgewater, but I don't know the answer,
right.
And that's
right.
I need to probably vet this number one fan and his questions.
Yeah, that's right. We run in public school circles, not private school circles, so it's a little different. All right, X's and O's, Coach. Let's talk about the Eagles. I'm gonna throw you a little meatball here on the first one. Tell me about our defense this year.
You know, I think we got of the 11 starters, 9 are seniors, which, you know, we're really excited about that. I think our team speed on defense is exceptional. You know, our front 7, our defensive line, our linebackers have played a lot of really good football. We're excited about that unit. You know, both of our corners are seniors. Our 2 starting safeties are juniors, but they were starters for us last year. So I think we're turning an experienced group that if they play together and they do their job and they rely on one another, not try to do their own thing, could be a very, very, very special unit that we're excited to watch Friday night.
Awesome. So let's turn it over now to something a little different, the other side of the ball, and talk about the offense this year, Coach. What do we expect to see out of the Eagles?
Our starting quarterback is sophomore Michael Clayton. We're excited about his development and his leadership ability at the quarterback position. He'll be wearing number 7 this year. Caden Shields Dutton will be a third-year starter for us. He'll be our tailback, number 28. He's got unbelievable leadership skills and played in great games. He's our starting tailback. He's played H-back and tailback for us in the past. He's our running back. And then, you know, our receiving unit, A.J. Howard's a returning senior. Kai Bates will play both sides, receiver and defensive back. You know, our offensive line, we're returning. It's a group that we're really excited about. The 2 seniors will be Chance Macon and Nathan DeQuesne on the offensive line. It'll be a group that gets better every week. They've gotten better all fall camp. We're excited about that unit. And then, you know, from a standpoint of receivers, Samaj Fleming and Brandon Paul and Tyson Carter, we feel like we have a pretty good receiving core that could be elite if we continue to work and build each and every day. So I'm excited about our offensive unit. We'll probably be a little bit different this year than we were last, maybe in the year before, with what we're trying to do. We're trying to score points always, but how we're going to do that might look a little bit different this year. But excited about that group across the board.
Very awesome. Sounds like it's going to be a little different this year on the offensive side of the ball. Like maybe throw it around a little more?
I think we have a chance to put the ball in the air effectively. We want to be balanced still. We want to be able to take what the defense gives us. So if it's a light box, we're going to run the football. But, you know, we feel that with our quarterback and receiver situation where we are right now, we'll have a chance to be successful in the air as well.
I completely agree. That's awesome, Coach. I love it. So now we're moving on to the next part of our show, which is a letter to Coach. So the number one fan again, this guy, he just he decided he wanted to ask you this question, and I don't know if you guys have ever experienced one of Coach Duke's pregame speeches, but those speeches are something to hear. He gets pretty intense. The boys get all excited. Then they do the Eagle Walk, and it's a pretty awesome thing. They started playing some of them over the intercom. You can hear them before the game when they're coming out through the smoke. We love it. So Coach's number one fan, his question is, have you ever delivered a pregame speech without the words love or special in it?
My pregame speeches are never planned. It's usually just from the cuff or from the heart, kind of what I feel. in that moment. I think pregame speeches are overrated. I think it's all about preparation, not only that week, but the weeks prior, in the summer, and your off season. It's a chance that you can get excited in that moment, which is always enjoyable. But when that ball's kicked and the game's underway, the pregame speech is out the window. So they're overrated. I usually just share from my heart. It's a chance to get excited. This is a game of emotion and passion. And I do know that I do love what I do, and I love the players that we have a chance to coach. So I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't something that I did love and have the opportunity to love our guys well. If I use the word special, I probably won't stop using the word love. I probably could use a different word than special. So maybe I'm going to work on that this year. But I know this. It's easy to be with our guys and motivate them because they get me excited. They excite one another, and then doing the Eagle Walk is special. But when that ball is kicked, those pregame speeches are out the window, so they are a bit overrated.
You know what? There ain't nothing wrong with saying the words love and special a lot, because if you got a lot of love and you think life is special, well then I think you're doing it right. I
agree.
So there's a lot of learning done on this little show
this fan might need to use that in some of his speeches. I think he's a public speaker.
You think?
He might be.
I don't know. He just contacts me and lets me know. He said he's got a lot of questions this year. So next up, you already kind of hit it, but I want to do it. We do 60 seconds of mentorship, so I'm going to let you maybe it'll be a little shorter this time because we already hit on it. But what I want you to talk about is this idea of now, because I think Coach Duke is hitting on something that needs to be explained a little better for all the philosophers out there, and what that means to him, and what that means in life, and what that means in football. So go ahead, Coach. Let it rip.
We met as a staff in the off season, right when the season's done, and we kind of looked at this year's team. And every team has a 1-year lifespan, and everyone wants to talk about last year, and it was a really good year, and we didn't make it as far as we liked it in the playoffs, but it was a great year. But we don't want to dwell on that, because sometimes when you live in the past, it can kind of create a depressed feeling. And then also, if you think too far ahead and you start thinking about the future, you can create anxiety in your life. And we don't want that for any of our players or our program. We just want to be focused on the now. What does it look like to be in the present and to say, how can I get better mentally, physically, spiritually, the three parts of a man, and how can we get better each and every day now? And don't put things off, and let's not sit in the past. You want to learn from the past, and you want to be excited about the future, but you want to live in the present. And so when you have 31 seniors and this year's team, it really is about this moment right now for these guys this fall, each and every day. And I think if we focus on that and we enjoy the moment and we're focused on getting better in the moment, then the future will take care of itself, and we'll be able to look back in our past and say that was really a great and special time. So that's kind of the motto, and that's what we want to live in and focus on this fall as a team and as a program. And we do this, and it helps myself as well, and our coaches, let's make sure we're doing it in our own lives as well.
Absolutely. Love it, Coach. Thanks for sharing. A lot of people like hearing these things. So next we're going to move on to another little thing we do on this show, an Eagle family coaching fact. So you got some old Eagles, you got some new Eagles. Your turnover's not very, very large, which must mean that Coach is doing something right. But let's talk about something you want to share about one of your staff.
I love our staff. A lot of us have been together since I got here in 2017. We got some alumni, of course, that are teachers here, and E.J. Dunston, and Shermaine T. Art, who's a math teacher, who was a great player here. Those are alumni that are also teachers here on campus, which I think is great. I think it's pretty well documented. I have some of my family that helps me out, my brother, my father, which is awesome. I look at our staff, and it's really a family. We meet once a week, and we call it our coaches' timeout. That's a time where the only rule is we're not able to talk about football. We do it after every practice on Wednesday, and it's such a special time for us as a staff. So there's so many guys that I could spotlight on our staff, but I think one guy that I'd like to spotlight is a math teacher here, and Shermaine T. Art. He's been a defensive line coach for us. He's an alumni. Of course, E.J. Dunston I spotlighted, I think, in the past, who's an unbelievable program. Shermaine T. Art has been a guy who is a great teacher here, went to elementary, middle school, and high school right here in our zone for Edgewater, came to high school here as a great player, went off to college, was a great player at Troy University. He's now back. He's a math teacher. He's a football coach, and he's great for our young people in so many areas, not just football, as a math teacher, as a professional, and as a coach. So he's a guy that I lean on a lot, and so does our staff to help mentor our young athletes in so many ways. So Shermaine Tiart would be one of our defensive line coaches and math teacher here on campus.
I taught him. We go way
That's
back,
right.
me and him.
That's right.
We go way back. Coach Tiart's a good man. I like having him around, that's for sure. He makes me feel safe. But this kind of, I have subcategories of questions from our number one fan, and this I'm going to spin off onto a question because I think it's a pretty good one. In a thumb wrestling match, who do you think would win, Coach Tiart or Coach Dunston?
I mean, we could just do it. You know, I could get that done.
You do it?
I could get that done today. But if I had to guess, I'd have to go with the veteran, Coach Dunston.
All right, just one more. Who do you think would win in a thumb wrestling match, Miss Vicky or Miss Val Lopez?
You know, that'd be a battle. But you know, if you know Miss Val Lopez, you know she doesn't play around. So I think her intensity and tenacity would maybe. And Vicky's the same way, so they're both great people. But I'm gonna have to go again with the veteran, Miss Val Lopez.
Okay, I'm gonna stop with those questions right now, and we're gonna finish up the way that we always finish up with a little bit of a speed option. So I have a new theme for this year because I know the offense is gonna be a little different, Coach. So I want to present you with a little gift like I normally do. Okay, these are some fancy sunglasses. If you be so kind as to put those on. Okay. They look great. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to say a call sign from the famous historical motion picture and most recently redone motion picture of Top Gun. Okay, and when I say that call sign, you tell me if it's maybe one of your staff members. Great. What comes to mind? Which person comes to mind?
Staff member or player?
I think we should go staff.
Okay.
But it's for you. It's you can do whatever you want with them. Okay, because
We'll go staff.
some of them I don't remember them that well. I just looked up top call signs from Top Gun. You know. Well, here we go. Viper,
Coach Mark Duke,
Jester,
Coach Chappell,
Hollywood,
Coach Jameson,
Goose,
let's go Coach Dunston,
Sundown,
Coach Tiart,
Assman,
Coach Joyce,
Merlin,
Coach Holohan,
Stinger,
Coach Torres Mack,
Wolfman.
Coach Strickland.
Last one there's only one answer to. Maverick. Who's Maverick, Coach Duke?
Yours truly.
That's right. All right, so Season 2, Episode 1, Coffee with Coach Maverick and Mr. Lesher out. We got to finish the way we always finish, Coach. Eagle, let it go. Eagle what?
Eagle.
Pride.